Welcome back to the deep dive. This is where we take your sources, your articles, research, and really trying to pull out the key stuff, the important knowledge. We want to give you that shortcut to, being well informed, maybe a few interesting facts, keep it lively. So today we're getting into something that, well, it touches pretty much everyone's life one way or another. We've got an excerpt, and it's simply titled Toxic Relationships and Manipulation.
Yeah, just hearing that title alone, it flags something really, really critical in how we interact. We might not have the whole document in front of us, but the power in those words is what they immediately bring to mind. Getting some clarity around these ideas, it can be, well, incredibly empowering for you listening, even if it's just finding the right words for something you've seen or maybe felt.
Absolutely. So our mission today, I guess, is to explore what this source, even just the title can tell us, what's really implied by these complex dynamics. Okay, let's unpack this then. We have this title, Toxic Relationships and Manipulation. That's our focus.
Right. And what's interesting is how that title itself is like a big signpost, isn't it? It points straight at behaviors, patterns, things that honestly so many of us deal with, but maybe don't always understand clearly.
Yeah.
When we say toxic relationships, we're not just talking about, arguments or a bad week. It's more about consistent patterns, ways of behaving that leave someone feeling diminished or disrespected, drained. It's this unhealthy environment that sticks around, not just a quick fight.
Right. So toxic relationships definitely conjures up images for people. But like you said, it's often not some big blow up, is it? It can be more like this slow creep. Makes it hard to spot sometimes. And that's maybe where the second part, manipulation, really becomes important. What are we actually talking about there?
Exactly. That insidious feeling in toxic relationships. It often comes right down to manipulation. And just to be clear, manipulation here isn't simply, persuading someone or asking for a favor. It's about these subtle tactics, often quite dishonest ones, used to control someone else. Their feelings, maybe their actions, how they see things, all for the manipulator's benefit. Think less direct orders, more indirect strategies, often hidden. Which brings up a question for you listening. Have you ever found yourself or seen someone you know consistently being made to feel guilty or confused, or even questioning their own take on reality in a relationship? That's often a sign manipulation might be going on.
That's a really useful distinction. And one type we hear about a lot now is gaslighting. That feels like a prime example of this manipulation. What does it actually look like?
Gaslighting is a perfect and really damaging example of that hidden manipulation. It's when someone tries to make you doubt your own memory, your perception, even your sanity. They might just flat out deny something happened that did. Or they'll say your feelings are like overreactions, or even tell you you're just making that up. The whole point is to shake your confidence in your own reality, make you rely more on their version of events. It makes you easier to control. It's about creating that deep self-doubt.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds incredibly confusing and isolating.
Yeah.
So if we zoom out a bit, just recognizing toxic relationships and manipulation as concepts is step one, but understanding specific tactics like gaslighting or, say, emotional blackmail.
Great, another key one.
Yeah, where someone uses your guilt or fear against you. Knowing these things gives you real insight, doesn't it? It's about seeing the red flags, not just feeling bad afterwards.
Exactly. Knowing the terms isn't just academic, not at all. It gives you the language, the vocabulary, to actually name specific behaviors when you see them. Other signs you might see in a toxic dynamic. Maybe constant criticism, where nothing you do is ever quite right. Or controlling behaviors, maybe trying to isolate you from your friends, your family, or just this ongoing feeling of disrespect, where your boundaries just get ignored again and again. It's almost never just one thing, is it? It's the pattern, that overall feeling of imbalance and just negativity.
So thinking about all this, what does it mean for you listening? It means even something as simple as a title can really open up a vital area of understanding. It just highlights how important it is to even recognize these dynamics exist, how they might impact people, and to have the words to describe them. Empowering yourself with this knowledge is really about understanding yourself and your interactions better.
And that leads to maybe a final thought or question for you.
Yeah.
How might just being aware of specific manipulative tactics, things like gaslighting, emotional blackmail, how might that change how you observe your relationships? Or maybe how you participate in them? Or even how you look back and interpret things that happened in the past?
That's definitely something to think about, yeah. So our deep dive today, it kind of shows that while a title grabs you, the real power comes from understanding the specifics, those patterns, those subtle signs that define toxic relationships and manipulation. Knowing about them gives you the tools, hopefully, to recognize them and decide how to respond. Perhaps the key insight today is just that awareness that knowledge itself is really the first step towards healthier connections.